Well, hi everyone. Clive Chaze is my name, like you already know if you do follow our content, and if you are joining us for the first time, yes, Clive Chaze is my name from Kampala, Uganda. The channel is CK Sports. If you're watching us for the first time and you are yet to subscribe, we encourage you to subscribe to our channel because we bring you nothing but everything you need to know about African football. Currently, I am in Morocco covering their preparations ahead of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations that they will be hosting from the 21st of December 2025 all the way to the 18th of January 2026. We've been to different cities. Of course, we've been to Casablanca, we've been to Marrakesh, we've been to Tangier, we've been to Agadir, and right now we are in Rabat. And joining me on set is none other than Leslie Angu, all the way from Cameroon. And with him, we are going to be discussing our findings so far for the days that we've been in Morocco. This should be the fourth day, but Leslie, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. People watching us from different time zones. Thank you for allowing to talk to us on CK Sports.
Greetings to your mass audience across the world, particularly those watching from East Africa and why not Kampala in Uganda. It's my pleasure to be on your platform. I hope to have a dream debut.
Yeah, but it is his debut. Recently, you were in East Africa, though not in Kampala particular. You were in Zanzibar for the African Nations Championships. And what was your experience in East Africa? First time, of course, that you were in Zanzibar.
Yeah, first time in Zanzibar, but not first time in East Africa.
Okay.
Done Tanzania before, 2019 under-17 AFCON, and other events. Kenya for the draw of the CHAN. In all, I met receptive people, welcoming people, good people who were willing to accept me as a part of them. At the end of my 29 days there, I felt like I have not just the feelings, but I have a new family. East Africa, particularly in Zanzibar, and extensively in Tanzania and other parts for African friends who called to check out on me. So I felt at home, good people, good hearts, good food, good football too. Because that's
you enjoyed the food?
Yeah,
it is similar to food in Cameroon.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm chicken crazy, and so chicken is across the world. So anywhere I go, where there's chicken, I'm fine. Chicken rice, I'm okay. But the football side of it, to be at the venue where in Sudan that few expected, won the group ahead of the defending champion Senegal, beat Nigeria 4-0, eliminated the defending vice champions Algeria. I felt like I experienced it all in terms of the suspense, the surprise results, everything about beautiful football. I experienced it in Zanzibar.
Let's take it back to the countries you've been to. You've mentioned Tanzania, you've mentioned Kenya, you've mentioned Zanzibar. And the question is, why haven't you been to Uganda? What's holding you back?
Can I let me be very honest with you that we pray for blessings, but we don't sometimes we just pray for blessings without necessarily designing how the blessings should be.
True.
If you gave me the chance to pick where to work in the CHAN, even at my sleep or in my sleep, I would have picked only Uganda. The ties I share with people
Tell us about the ties.
The ties I share with people from Uganda are so extensive that I feel like it's a sin that I've never been to Uganda. Yourself, you know our story.
Yeah.
We all started as kids, and qualified as such. By the grace of God, things are getting better. We are not yet there, but things are getting better. Yo, Peace, Peter, Hussein, Andrew, Paul, Honorable Moses Magogo. It's an extensive Ugandan family. Ambrose too. So in my novenas all through the build-up for the tournament, I kept on saying, God should give me the opportunity to be in the tournament and to be in the tournament. And in my thoughts, I thought God would give the blessings in Uganda, but he decided that I should go to Zanzibar first. And I went there to serve African football. I thank CAF for the opportunity. I thank Zanzibar people for giving me a new family. And I hope that in the nearest future, even if it means for personal reasons, I'll be in Uganda, not just Kampala, but be in Uganda. See the works you guys are doing. There's a strong media family, which you're one of the leaders in the country, which I follow very well, very closely. And there's also football culture in the country, as demonstrated during the CHAN. Alain Okello, congratulations to him for the performance he put up in the CHAN. I hope he can consistently keep that performance and be one of the foundations of the AFCON team. Learn from Big Dennis, who's come back now into the senior national team with his successes at Mamelodi. So I once again apologize for delaying my arrival to Uganda.
It will come eventually.
It will come by the grace of God.
And about the food, of course, you mentioned the food. I've been to several African countries, and I must say, outside Uganda, the place, and probably Kenya, they are Ugala and Sukuma wiki. I love it too very much. I think the country I've been to where I enjoyed or loved the food was in Cameroon. I think I told you.
We've had this conversation before.
I enjoyed. I've been to places, but I think outside Uganda and maybe Kenya, Cameroon is the place where I do enjoy the food.
I am not surprised, and I'll go back to where we started. When I say I'm not surprised, I'm not surprised because many don't know there's an extraction of Cameroonian people that migrated into Uganda.
The Bantu people.
Yeah, so there's that link. Maybe that's why I feel very attached to Uganda.
No, so probably also the soil where your food is grown is similar to the soil where, because not only the food, also the fruits. Because I remember testing the street fruits, the pineapples and watermelons, and they tasted exactly the way they taste in Uganda. Something that you won't find elsewhere. So at some point I told people Cameroon is a Uganda located in the central part of Africa and all that. Yeah. But we need to move on, Leslie. We are in Morocco, of course, covering their preparations for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. 9 stadiums, 6 different cities, hotels and training grounds. So far, we've been to Agadir, like we did say, we've been to Tangier, we've been to Marrakesh. Right now, we are in Rabat. The journey started in Casablanca. Your thoughts so far on what you've observed here?
Mighty Morocco. Mighty Morocco. They've punched above expectations, to be honest. I'm not surprised because it's not my first coming.
Yeah.
But what impresses me most is that though they already had standard infrastructure some 2, 3, 4 years ago, they're still improving on the current infrastructures and trying to get them better. Look at, for example, the stadium in Tangier.
Yeah.
2 years ago, the great Brazilian team played against Morocco in the stadium, and we found nothing wrong. Maybe from a layman's side of it. And you come back 2 years later, and they tell you that no, they're not just maintenance. They are demolishing some sections of the stadium on recommendation of CAF and FIFA to upgrade it. I think what this country of ours, I call it a country of ours because everyone should be proud, every African should be proud to be linked to Morocco. What this country of ours has done in terms of infrastructure, in terms of creating interest around sports generally and football particularly, and even in terms of hospitality. This is something many don't see, because you can have the best infrastructures on offer, have maybe the best national team, but you don't create the environment for visitors to come. This could be, I don't know, I've lost count, maybe 9 or 10 or I don't know, trip to Morocco.
Your trip?
Yeah, for me. And believe it or not, I only have good memories in terms of my interaction with people, relationship with Moroccans, not just executive Moroccans we meet, even the people in the street who don't know who we are, who see us as any other persons in the street, the way they've treated us. I remember missing my way on a number of my maybe free time out when I'm here, and you meet one or two Moroccans. I've stopped some while even on the dining table in some good restaurants, and they pause to take their phone and try to use Google Map to try to pick a direction you're trying to locate and help you through. I think Morocco these days is an example for the world to copy, not just the rest of Africa, but for the world to copy. And the way they are going about it, I have the feeling that they're not just doing it because they're expecting an event. I think King Mohammed VI is creating a different kind of Moroccan people in terms of the hospitality side of it. So we can talk as football people and think it's just build up to AFCON, but those who come here after AFCON and after the World Cup, if they experience Morocco, they will certainly have to agree with us because it's quite impressive what they're doing.
Because for me, I love the way our experience has also been designed. Of course, we are journalists, but we are experiencing what a normal football fan or a normal tourist who is coming to Morocco for the Africa Cup of Nations or even the World Cup is going to experience. Like we did say, our journey started in Casablanca. Then we took a high-speed train to Tangier through Rabat, meaning people can go to Tangier or Rabat to watch games if they're from Casablanca, or from Tangier to Rabat, or from Rabat from Casablanca. From Tangier, we did take a flight to Agadir. Then we did the road trip from Agadir to Marrakesh, then another road trip from Marrakesh to Rabat. But you get to realize that the experience is smooth in so many ways, that they are trying to tell you that you are covering this, but you should tell your people that there are actually different ways of how you can go around this country. If you're coming for the World Cup, if you're coming for the Africa Cup of Nations, or if you're just coming to tour.
Yeah, and there's something, I don't know if you've remarked it, made that remark like I have. There is something I've experienced through the store, particularly. Nobody orientates you on what to film and not to film.
Yeah.
You go to some countries for this kind of exercise, they tell you, no,
you're restricted.
Don't film here, film there. Like when we go to the stadium, first of all, nobody commissioned them to get us into their stadium, to get us to come and see the work they're doing. When you go to the stadium, even if works are ongoing, there's freestyle. They allow everybody, if you want to enter the pitch, you enter the pitch. If you want to go to the dressing room, go to wherever you want to go to. And this is what the fans who come for tournaments, this is what tourists who come to a country, not just Morocco, they want to experience. They want to go to the beaches whenever they want, at midnight, early in the morning. They want to use the train at any moment. They want to go to the airport and make sure and experience the travel, have the travel experience, and see if the local flights respect time. So all of this we've been given access to it, and as far as I'm concerned, you can't simulate for this long. You can act for this long. This is no fluke. This is no stage stuff.
Yeah.
I think they have a culture to which we need to copy. They are set a culture to experience for not just fans of football, but people who want to come to Morocco at whatever moment. And there's an interesting side of it. I don't know if you noticed too, the difference in the climate in the various cities.
Yeah, true.
Like when we went to Marrakesh, it was hotter. In Agadir, it was cold. Yes, the sea breeze and everything. But the country gives you the opportunity.
In Agadir, we're just next to the Atlantic Ocean, just a few meters away.
To the Atlantic Ocean.
Hotel was staying.
Yeah. So the country gives you the possibility of experiencing the different climatic conditions within movements from one city to another, and I think that's a luxury that everybody want to experience. But Morocco offers it, obviously, not at a luxury price.
Yeah, of course, we also got to let us realize that the high-speed train that they established from Casablanca to Tangier is the only one on the African continent. So that is a first. The other day, we were talking to Nasraddin Nasri, the Moroccan journalist, and he was telling us that those people are coming for the Africa Cup of Nations before even discuss the World Cup, because the AFCON is the one that is just around the corner. They should expect European conditions in an African atmosphere, because time and again they have considered themselves to be Europeans. They emulate what the Europeans do. Probably that is why the country is where it is right now. But they are hosting the Africa Cup of Nations, and they are saying expect European conditions in an African atmosphere. And I'm still imagining how that is going to pan out, and actually that also excites me, because I do want to experience that kind of bit.
Well, I think, over the years, Africans have been classed as those with substandard performances, substandard infrastructure, substandard facilities, substandard events, and Europe has been classed otherwise. Like everything about Europe is smooth, sweet, and fairy tale. So I don't disagree with him that some of the experiences we are having here, or visitors who come and have here, are the experiences visitors go to Europe to get. So when Arjun says it is going to be a European experience in an African country,
Atmosphere, yeah.
There's just no way you can disagree. There's just no way you can disagree. I was talking to some colleagues today, and I have just one plea, or one major thing to make this, that I feel if that happens, then it's going to be an unforgettable AFCON tournament. If the turnout in non-Morocco games match the turnout in Morocco games, then we are up for football, like we see, like, I don't want to mention the name of any European competition for promotional reasons, but if we can have all of the stadiums full to capacity for all of the matches of the competition, then we are going to have an AFCON to remember forever.
Without a doubt, because you talk about 9 venues, but I think this is also going to be the first AFCON in a very long period of time where you don't have double headers at a particular venue. I mean, you have games that are spread out. In recent times, we've had the Africa Cup of Nations where you have 2 games played at a venue each day. It's different this time around. They're doing it the way the Euros or the World Cup do their stuff. They have games that spread out. 4 games played on a particular day, and they're all played in 4 different venues.
Yeah, that's a good one. And then with the speed train, you see, it provides something different. It provides the near Qatar experience, wherein you can finish one game and then jump into a train and move to another city and attend the game. So it's really panning out. It's really panning out to be. It's building up to be something memorable. And what I would say, like they say in the quarters in my country, in Cameroon, it looks like Morocco is already ready, and what is delaying is the tournament, is the AFCON itself. There has been rarely have we had AFCONs. I can't remember the last time we built up to an AFCON without a polemic about infrastructure, the host.
Those are usually the stories around the build-up.
But this one, the guys have waited all along, and these stories are not
because
so they now bring media to come and get stories.
Because the truth is, stadiums are being renovated.
Yeah.
But all the stadiums we've been to, they are telling us by the end of September, they are going to be done. By the end of September, they are going to be done. Because by the end of the stadiums are done by the end of September, you're giving yourself October, November, and probably a bit of January. Stadiums are there, ready for branding and for kickoff.
Yeah. So even if the stadiums they are renovating, we went to, for example, to the Grand Stade in Tangier.
Yeah.
And they told us that the roofing was done in a record period of 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I beg your pardon. Yeah. And now they are asking for, they say they still have 30 days, possibly, that they've made an allowance of 30 days to complete the renovation works in the stadium.
The playing surface was done.
Now, it's you and I in front of this camera. Enumerate the things that were left to be done for 30 days. the playing surface is perfect. The press conference room is perfect. The tribunes are all operational.
What is remaining is the plug and play.
And they're asking for 30 days. And if they can do the roofing for 2 weeks, which is even one of the most complicated aspects in constructing or in renovating a stadium, then you get to realize that they've over-provided time for completion of the work, maybe because they don't want to be under pressure or anything like that. So I think, I pray that God gives us long life and the opportunity to live the AFCON in Morocco. It could just be Africa's best AFCON ever, especially because it is following up to the AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire, because today we plaudit Morocco and everything Morocco has done. There's something we don't mention: the standards Cote d'Ivoire set.
True.
The standards Cote d'Ivoire set in terms of infrastructures, particularly playing pitches, that in Yamoussoukro, that in Bouaké, that in San Pedro. The playing pitches, not only the mat pitches, but even the training pitches were so good that Morocco is one of the countries in Africa that pays a lot of attention on its image. Morocco, given its image, wants to do even better, wants to meet the same standards or do even better. And I think that is the reason why they cutting their T's, dotting their I's, paying attention to details to make sure that they deliver one of the best AFCON tournaments ever.
Leslie, it's also surprising that actually this is going to be only the second time in history that Morocco is hosting the Africa Cup of Nations. You can imagine, the last hosted it in the 70s.
In 1988, when Cameroon won, beat Nigeria 3-1.
Ever since then, they have not hosted this competition again, yet there are actually countries in between there that have hosted this competition twice or even thrice. South Africa twice, Ghana I think twice or thrice, Ivory Coast twice, that, and it's only coming back to Morocco for the first time since 1988.
A lot has changed since King Mohammed VI came to the throne. May God assist him to continue in the same way. A lot has changed, and we're just coming from the workshop. And one of the panelists mentioned that when Morocco qualified for the World Cup in 2018, it was the first time Morocco appeared in the World Cup in 20 years. Because before 2018, Morocco's last qualification was in 1998.
France 98.
In 1998. So, in that time, it looked like the country paid attention to some other things over organizing football events. Maybe they paid attention to putting in place proper infrastructure, because it doesn't suffice to just pop out your chest that you want to organize. It also entails, for a country that pays attention to its image, it also entails putting in place the right infrastructures. So I think that it is Morocco's moment to showcase. It is true, they could have hosted in 2015, then the outbreak of the Ebola crisis, and then they defected from organizing and they went to Equatorial Guinea and Gabon. But now they are back. It doesn't matter. They don't lack competition experience, because because your question could also relate to the fact that they've not hosted for a long period of time could mean they may be novices about some aspects of hosting. No, they don't lack
several international
competition experience. The Club World Cup, the Women's AFCON consecutively.
The Under-17 Girls World Cup is coming.
They are preparing. Next month they start the Under-17 Girls World Cup, and they'll do it for 5 years in a run. So they have competition experience. Many are those who've been clamoring even for Morocco to host the Africa Cup of Nations. They now have the opportunity to show Morocco. And mind you, even the 1988 tournament was, it was an amazing tournament. Maybe not as good as the tournaments of these days, but by the standard of those days, the 1988 competition was memorable. Yes, it's true, there were also some great players on show for most of the countries that participated, but in terms of infrastructure and organization, it was also good. So coming back to Morocco, only raises sentiments of the old and gives Morocco the responsibility to do better than in the past, do better than they did in the past, and why not do better than people see Africa.
Well, we will continue with our coverage in this country of Morocco as they continue their preparations for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. But Leslie, maybe as we wind up, of course, you say that Ivory Coast raised the bar, the standards, and Morocco must match that or even supersede it. But we know how usually these things work. Immediately when the last ball is kicked on the 18th of January, the trophy is handed over. At the award ceremony, the CAF flag will be handed to probably 3 ministers of Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania, as now the attention of the world turns from Morocco and the spotlight is on East Africa. How much pressure do you think is going to come with that?
I think before there would have been pressure, but I want to salute Dr. Patrice Motsepe's initiative. He and his executive committee, their initiative of using CHAN as the teaser for the AFCON. Before the CHAN came to the Pamoja grouping, it was a whole generation that had not seen such a non-age group competition in their land. Now they've seen CHAN, they've had the experiences of the different matches at the different stages of the competition. So Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, if I were to make any recommendation, it's fix what did not work well during CHAN. Take your time, prepare yourself, send even delegates to Morocco to see how Morocco goes about it. Take your notes, ink the details you get from Morocco, go back and implement. We're not very far away. Remember, this tournament in Morocco finished in 2026.
Yeah, sure.
And in 2027, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania are expected to receive Africa. They did so well. I want to use this opportunity to congratulate those 3 nations for the job, logistically, diplomatically, everything, even sporting-wise. All 3 hosts making history, getting out of the group. They did so well. The attitude of the people in Nyayo, in Kasarani, Mandela, Benjamin Kappa, Aman, the flair, the ambience, and the energy of the CHAN was a good foundation for the AFCON, which we envisage to be even better in 2027. So I think there should not be pressure on our 3 brothers, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. They should copy from they should watch closely the works that our Moroccan brothers are going to do, and why not emulate it come 2027?
Because for standard purposes, CAF needs a minimum of 6 venues.
Yeah,
Morocco is giving us 9. I mean, competition venues, because the groups are usually
they're giving 9. And
Morocco is giving us 9.
Let me interrupt you. Yeah. It's the first time, maybe I like statistics. It's the first time in AFCON history that one city is hosting 4 venues.
9 venues, 4 of those in one city.
In Rabat. It's the first time in AFCON history. Never has it happened. It is the first time in AFCON history where all participating member associations, each one will have their training pitch. Morocco's allocated 24 training pitches
for each
of the 24 participating countries.
And another for the referees.
And another, the 20 feet for the referees. It's never happened. And I can't remember a UEFA competition where each nation was given that luxury. So you see, even they talk about experiencing having a European experience in Africa. I think what we should say is Europe should come and experience a different Africa.
Say Jimmy Carragher should come and experience.
No, I don't want to be personal with Jamie. Jamie sometimes goes off track. We know this. Even when he was playing, we know the number of own goals he scored. So that comment from him about AFCON was one of his regular own goals. He later retracted. And I am not in the position to invite him to Morocco, but if I was in that position, I would tell him to come to Morocco. If it's too urgent to prepare for 3 months to come here, maybe he comes to Kenya, Tanzania, or Uganda in 2027 and leave AFCON, and he'll go and tell the story to the rest of the world.
But also, Leslie, if you remember correctly, from the time the AFCON was expanded to 2014,
good initiative.
Yeah, the numbers, especially those who follow globally, have kept on growing. From Egypt in 2019 to Cameroon in 2021, Ivory Coast in 2022. And now you feel that actually the numbers are going to grow bigger for this Morocco. Because when you remember the tournament in Ivory Coast, we were told about 170 territories were able to watch this competition. You're talking about 8 or something billion eyeballs. And these are numbers that have been growing every tournament that comes around. And you feel that the one in Morocco is probably going to be bigger because of the time they are investing, not only them, but also CAF, because it is their products and they want it to keep on growing. You feel that this one is also going to be big and better, not only in Morocco as organizers, but also globally for the people who are going to watch it in the different territories across the globe.
I must tell you, one thing that is nearly guaranteed is good fun experience, because competitions, people think it's just Morocco 3, Tanzania 1, or Tanzania 6, Zambia 1, or Zambia 4, Senegal 1. It's not just that, the fun experience. Morocco is already guaranteeing a good fun experience in terms of the beaches, in terms of hospitality, in terms of access to the country. Like when we arrive, the number of the short space of time you need to do the checks with customs and pick up your luggage and everything, that in itself attracts visitors. So then CAF has really helped matters in recent years in terms of the way they brandish the product. Dr. Patrice Motsepe, with his business experience from his time as chairman of Mamelodi Sundowns, he's built something about CAF credibility. That credibility is not felt only in terms of signing partnerships. It's felt in terms of even people trusting to watch your matches and knowing that these matches are real competitive matches with suspense from start to finish. He's created that kind of atmosphere.
Gave us that.
Yeah, Ivory Coast gave us that. Look at, for example, Ivory Coast Mali. In the
the different games in Ivory Coast.
Yeah, just look at, for example, Ivory Coast Mali in the quarterfinal, where Odilon Kusunu provokes a penalty, VAR chalks it off, and then he's sent off within 20 minutes. There's a penalty against Ivory Coast, and then somehow, this is what creates the suspense. Somehow, there's a comeback and Ivory Coast eliminates Mali. So this kind of suspense, coincidental suspense.
I thought you were going to give the example of Ghana, Mozambique. The
2-2. Those kind of results. And it's not just only in men's football, even in women's football. Recently here in Morocco, with Nigeria final against Morocco. I mean, Morocco leading 2-0 and somehow Nigeria comes back and wins 3-2. So credibility has been built. And one of the things that have helped build credibility is the man at the helm and those around him. I think that because CAF is in safe hands these days, it makes it easy for people to move from far and near and come and experience CAF events, not just the AFCON, other CAF events, and even those who can't come from wherever they are across the world, they tune into CAF events for greater experience. There is something many don't pay attention to. You talk about growing figures from the last AFCON, but many don't mention the fact that the last AFCON was played just around the same period the Copa America was happening. And there was attention in the AFCON, just like the recent women's AFCON that got lots of attention and was
while the women's Euro was going on.
The women's Euro and the Club World Cup, just around the Club World Cup and the women's Euro. But Africa got its big share of attention. So it is good time for African football. It's our responsibility, it's Morocco's responsibility, it's Kenya's responsibility, it's Tanzania's responsibility, it's Cameroon, it's Ivory Coast, it's Uganda's responsibility to uphold this good reputation we're creating as a people, as Africans, and so why not be an example to other continents, to other confederations in the nearest future?
Well, as we wind up, we hinted on it earlier. The last time Morocco hosted this competition was in 1988, and Cameroon were the champions. This man is a Cameroonian. What are the chances that Cameroon can, okay, of course it's early stages, but what are the chances that Cameroon can make it title number 6 on the 18th of January 2026?
I think every time there is an AFCON tournament, the picks for the trophy are Cameroon,
Nigeria,
Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire,
Ghana, they are not here.
Ghana. Every time there's an AFCON, this time Ghana is not coming. So the regular suspects are Cameroon, Nigeria, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Egypt, Algeria, Morocco has been in the mix this time around, Tunisia, Senegal. So these are the usual suspects. And given the competitive nature of African football these days, it is always in between or there about the suspect. But there's a new trend that is becoming regular now in African football, where there's an underdog that pushes and pushes. In Cameroon, Comoros eliminated Ghana. In Cote d'Ivoire, Mozambique, you know, the Mozambique-Ghana story. And then
now they don't qualify.
Ghana doesn't qualify for this one. So we're not targeting Ghana, but there have been some of these upsets that makes it very difficult to predict. How many people could anticipate of nationals from this country that Cabo Verde and Angola will be in the business end of the last AFCON tournament? But they went all the way, and so when they go right to semi-final, and even Republic of South Africa, it wasn't a star-studded. Yeah, it wasn't a star-studded Republic of South Africa side, but they have an astute tactician, well-grounded side, and they went all the way. So, these days, I don't think that there is an underdog in African football. If you have good games, tactics, and players who are tactically disciplined and hungry, you can go all the way. And so, the ball is round for Cameroon, Morocco, Cote d'Ivoire, Madagascar, Mozambique, Uganda, Zambia, Botswana. Whoever earns it will go all the way and get it.
You still didn't answer my question. Okay, how far do you think Cameroon will go?
They will go as far as their hunger takes them.
Okay, we'll wait and see. Well, that has been our discussion with Leslie here. If you liked our conversations, you can leave a like and a comment for us. Of course, I'll catch him one more time before I will leave Morocco. Thank you for watching from wherever you've been watching. Clive Chaze is my name. The channel is CK Sports. Stay blessed.